Hey everybody, welcome to the Poetry Parlor. One has to wonder, well, one doesn't have to wonder, one may wonder, if Gabriel Garcia Marquez were alive today, if he would consider writing a sequel to his celebrated novel, Love in the Time of Cholera, and entitle it Love in the Time of Corona. Um, I have chosen for you tonight a quartet of sorts, three sonnets by Shakespeare, for whom better to talk about love than the bard himself, and my favorite poem by John Keats, La Belle Dame sans merci. Um, the reason that I chose the three sonnets is because they work out as a trilogy of sorts, in the sense that they're almost like the evolution of love, um, as long as that final evolution is one of darkness. The first one is Sonnet 29, When in Disgrace with Fortune and Men's Eyes. Now, in that sonnet, Shakespeare discusses how no matter what a man's station is in life, um, no matter what state a person finds him or herself in, they they're able to rise above all as long as they have love in their life. The second sonnet, Let Me Not to the Marriage of True Minds, that deals with love in its most resolute incarnation. True love, that which is immovable, ever fixed, no matter what outside force may wreak havoc upon one's soul or one's person. Um, True love is eternal. And finally, Sonnet 147, My love is as a fever, longing still. Now that's where things get interesting. That sonnet speaks to those who find themselves on a path to madness. There's nothing else that matters but their love for whomever it may be. But the thing is, they realize that they're on a crash course to self-destruction. What they want is what is inevitably going to kill them or do them in. It's a poison of a sort. And finally, Keats's poem I chose to as an epilogue of sorts because it ties in nicely with Sonnet 147. Um, you'll see what happens to a person who, well, you'll find out when I read it. But first, Sonnet 29. When in disgrace with fortune and men's eyes, let me start over. When in disgrace with fortune and men's eyes, I all alone beweep my outcast state, and trouble deaf heaven with my bootless cries, and look upon myself and curse my fate, wishing me like to one more rich in hope, featured like him with friends possessed, desiring this man's art and that man's scope, with what I most enjoy contented least, yet in these thoughts myself almost despising. Haply I think on thee, and then my state like to the lark at break of day arising from sullen earth sings hymns at heaven's gate. For thy sweet love remembered such wealth brings, that then I scorn to change my state with kings. Okay, Sonnet 116. Let me not to the marriage of true minds admit impediments. Love is not love which alters when it alteration finds, or bends with the remover to remove. Oh no, it is an ever fixed mark that looks on tempests and is never shaken. It is the star to every wandering bark whose worth's unknown, although his height be taken. Love's not time's fool, though rosy lips and cheeks within his bending sickle's compass come. Love alters not with his brief hours and weeks, but bears it out even to the edge of doom. If this be error and upon me proved, I never writ, nor no man ever loved. All right, 147. My love is as a fever longing still for that which longer nurseth a disease, feeding on that which doth preserve the ill, the uncertain sickly appetite to please. My reason, the physician to my love, angry that his prescriptions are not kept, hath left me, and I desperate now approve desire as death, which physic did accept. Past cure I am, now reason is past care, and frantic mad with evermore unrest. My thoughts and my discourse as madman's are, at random from the truth vainly expressed. For I have sworn thee fair and thought thee bright, who art as black as hell, as dark as night. All right, Keats. Now I have to read this one. I don't have this one memorized. Let me bring it up. Okay. Now, before I read it, I just want you to just keep in mind, this is such vivid imagery. It's just wonderful. I want you to think about just what the speaker's object of desire is in actuality. What are we exactly dealing with here? What kind of creature could cause a man to simply waste away? Maybe we'll find out. Here we go. La Belle Dame sans merci, the beautiful lady without pity. Oh, what can ail thee, knight at arms, alone and palely loitering? The sedge has withered from the lake, and no birds sing. Oh, what can ail thee, knight at arms, so haggard and so woebegone? The squirrel's granary is full, and the harvest's done. I see a lily on thy brow, with anguish moist and fever dew, and on thy cheeks a fading rose fast withereth too. I met a lady in the meads, full beautiful, a fairy's child. Her hair was long, her foot was light, and her eyes were wild. I made a garland for her head, and bracelets too, and fragrant zone. She looked at me as she did love, and made sweet moan. I set her on my pacing steed, and nothing else saw all day long, for sideways would she lean and sing a fairy's song. She found me roots of relish sweet, and honey wild and manna dew, and sure in language strange she said, I love thee true. She took me to her elfin grot, and there she gazed and sighed full sore, and there I shut her wild, wild eyes with kisses four. And there she lulled me asleep, and there I dreamed, ah, woe betide, the latest dream I ever dreamed on the cold hillside. I saw pale kings and princes too, pale warriors, death pale were they all. They cried, La Belle Dame sans merci hath thee in thrall. I saw their starved lips in the gloam, with horrid warning gaped wide, and I awoke and found me here on the cold hillside. And this is why I sojourn here, alone and palely loitering, though the sedge is withered from the lake, and no birds sing. Nothing like cranberry juice. So what have we here? Is it an enchantress? Is it a fairy? He says he found a fairy's child. Could it be a vampire? That could drain a person. Could it be a succubus? Or, heaven forbid, the most dangerous one of all? Could it be a woman? Something to think about. Hope you like these. Okay, see you next time.